the lead and workshop us through some of the ideas that were initiated by Marco. Lidija.
Okay, bună ziua. Sunt iarăși eu. Okay, we know each other very well, and I'm really happy to be here with you again. This will be a workshop. I'll do less and you'll work more, and that's the perfect division of work. So yesterday somebody, I think it was Slobodan's presentation, somebody said something about, pose a question, what about Greenland, if you remember? And then, of course, it's a great slagwort, as we say. And somebody also said yesterday, I don't remember who, we need more media literacy also with our students. And that will be exactly what we will be doing here. We will use the example of Greenland, which has been really hot topic recently, and we will do it through media literacy. So, why are we talking about Greenland? Can anyone share an opinion?
Oh, yes.
Why are we talking about Greenland?
Because Trump is a leader who wants to take it.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So it's a global issue, cost issue about real estate.
Yes,
Okay.
but it also creates a bit of a schism in NATO, which
Okay.
may be done on purpose.
Okay, so it's very sensitive also. Okay. We will, of course, go through all the slides and see why Greenland has become such a hot topic. And okay, yes. And of course, this is something, probably some of you know this picture, probably some of you never seen this. But can you guess?
The Parliament. Greenland Parliament.
Greenland, okay. This is not really Parliament, this is the city of Nuuk, some sort of capital. We see a house, we see here a church, Christian church, and here we see a statue. We will introduce this statue. It's a statue of Danish Norwegian priest who is called Hans Egede. Okay. Next slide, please.
It's not Banksy.
Okay. This is one example. Then this is the second example. Once more. Okay. Here you can see that this statue, when you read this inscription here, says Hans Egede, Nuuk, Greenland, and here you can see Hans Egede by August Sabie, Copenhagen, Denmark, the year before, or previous year. So you can see that, are they the same, are they similar? Yes, almost the same statues. So this is the original, so to say, statue, but both are in bronze, so they both are original. But this was commissioned by the community of Greenland, the community of Nuuk, a year after. Okay, next slide. No, before. Okay, so what do we see here?
Red paint.
Red paint. Okay, this is the year 2021. It's Nuuk, Greenland, and this statue has been vandalized, or the paint was put upon it. Do we know why in 2021?
Independence movement?
Sorry?
100 years from erecting the statue?
Yes,
The
right.
Independence movement?
Independence movement. It was also, yes, there were protesters. Does anyone, probably you're all familiar, but do you remember the movement?
There was a movement that started in the United States in the 2020, and then it kind of spilled over
Yes,
a couple
yes.
of years later, where all statues, not just in the United States, but everywhere in the world, were
Yes,
questioned, re-examined, and reconstitutionalized, basically. So
yes. It was a great, very big movement within the whole world, where they vandalized or questioned the statues all over the contest, especially statues related to colonialism, Black Matter movement, And this is within this process that this statue was covered with paint. Okay. And I think you know this guy, and Marco was telling you about it. During his first term, Donald Trump expressed a very controversial statement that essentially Greenland, he said, is a large real estate deal which could be bought by United States. It was during, you see, the year is 2019, and the same idea has reappeared or resurrected during his second term. Last winter we could hear that he also had the same idea of buying Greenland and paying the money to Danish government. Danish government, of course, rejected the idea and said that Greenland remains the sovereignty of Denmark. Does anyone, do you know what this is, or have you seen it? Probably, you probably have. Okay, these are recent protests in Greenland, saying, of course, Greenland is not for sale, and this is, I think, in January this year, this winter, and of course the community in Greenland has opposed this idea of buying off Greenland, and they, of course, you can see that here we see the flags of Greenland, which is an autonomous state within Greenland. Marco has shown you, okay, Marco has shown you already this toolkit or manual that has been produced within the project that we spoke about 2 years ago, I think. It was Marie-Louise who presented the Contested Monuments project, and this is a toolkit that actually produced lesson plans, 12 lesson plans based upon the statues all over the world. Contested statues, you can see here the Comfort Women statue, you can see the Colston statue, you can see the Nuuk statue.
Colston, it's
Colston.
Colston.
Okay. So we can see all kinds of statues here contested, and the lesson plans that were made upon these cases. We thought that actually there are also very sensitive historical topics all around the world, and we deal with them in everyday life, in everyday school life. We thought that we can somehow approach these difficult topics through dealing with monuments. And this is something that I try to do the same here with the case of Greenland. I was trying actually to approach Greenland, not so superficially like whose territory is Greenland. Is it Danish? Is it Inuit? Is it probably American territory? But I wanted to suggest to my students, let's see what is the history of Greenland. Does Greenland have any controversial heritage? And I showed them actually the monument of Hans Egede. I showed them the monument which was painted in red, and we started talking about Greenland. What is very, for me, what was very valuable is that in this manual, I found the context, historical context about Greenland, which is, of course, Greenland has a very long history, and I'm sure that just as I didn't know anything about it. So I used this historical context, and I used the statue of Hans Egede to make a lesson plan for students. You know that I'm not a historian, but I am a civic education teacher, art history teacher, so I kind of connected to subjects. And because the curricula for civic education has the topic of media literacy, I said, okay, I will somehow adapt the lesson plan that that is proposed in this manual, and I will adapt it for my students. And I actually this is just how the lesson plan looks in this manual. Just to show you, next slide. And I said, okay, I will try to make something new for my students. I thought this could be relatable to them, showing them the statue, showing them the history of Greenland, the history of this statue, and suggesting to them that they write an article, media article, about this Hans Egede statue. So the question was, who has the right to decide about the monument of Hans Egede? And I suggested 6 different categories of news. So that would be also a task for you, an assignment for you. We will have 4 groups because this is, I think, more convenient for us. But I have to say that I conducted this lesson in my school with various classes, and I have to say that they were very, very eager to participate. They were very engaged, and I think that it really made an impact on them. And we can discuss later what they learned, what skills they gained, what values they changed, what statements they have also changed probably. So I think that now, when we start working, I will of course help you with these articles. We will not do the neutral news article. We will do the clickbait article, biased propagandistic article from the perspective of Danish government. We will do the opinion column, a text written from the perspective of Inuit communities, and opinion column from the perspective of American media covering Greenland. So these are 4. In original plan there are 6, but I think 4 is enough, and I think this isn't very hard, but you will see that some obstacles, so to say, some challenges when writing about this. Okay.
How many words?
It's optional.
We can choose or...
No. Okay.
But you will get me in the group, so.
Okay. For you, this is just some very short bullet points about Greenland. Okay. Are we ready to present our articles? Okay. What I noticed that you were very, very involved, very engaged in writing these articles. It's the same experience I shared with my students in my class. They were very engaged.
Thank you.
We had 6 groups, as you see here, but it was really very engaging. They were tired, of course, afterwards, and they really liked it. And so now we'll see what did you write. And I have to say clickbait. Have you finished?
Yes.
Okay. Can we start with you? So just a short explanation. Clickbait is an article sensationalized coverage about something. And we hear and see these kind of articles all the time on internet, all around. So, would you like to present it?
Yes.
Okay. You can.
I didn't say that I will have to get first. Stand or here. I can do
Wherever you want. Okay, so we opted for this title. Did Hans Egede deserve this?
So this morning, a monument of our beloved model Hans Egede was vandalized. A small angry mob of locals in Nuuk splashed red paint all over the long-standing monument. They, inspired by woke American movement, wrote word decolonize, showing their lack of understanding of the importance of Egede in the shared history of Denmark and Greenland. The Egede deserved this after bringing Christianity and enlightenment to, at that time, uncivilized, local, disunited Inuit tribes. Will the local government and police in Nuuk react, or will this virus of destruction of our nation's legacy find its way to the Hans Egede monument in Copenhagen? And who is next? Where will they strike next? Eric the Red or King Friedrich X?
So we did a small sensationalist
part.
Okay, thanks. Now, you see, I have to say that clickbait was the easiest
Yes.
article for students. They mastered it. It was absolutely. Now you see that you also presented a very good article. I have to say also that besides the title, which is always sensational, that some students wrote quite objective presentation of the event. So they stick to the facts. They didn't change the facts that they have been presented by. So also clickbait, we probably, does anyone have any opinion upon this article also? Okay.
It sounds like something you'd see on the Sun, like some very
okay.
polarizing
Very
publication.
polarizing. Okay. Okay. Well, okay. Thank you very much, and I applaud to you. Now we will hear the Inuit
Okay.
presentation.
Speak, man.
Okay.
Sorry. So we had to do an opinion column from the Inuit, the native populations of Greenland. The title of this opinion column is Inuit Communities Must Have a Voice. We, the Inuit communities, were here before any Europeans. The fact that we do not appear in sources is an outrage, and it demonstrates significant bias. Archaeologists have uncovered remains of our culture dated millennia before. There is a misunderstanding shadowing the issue. We are mere custodians. Greenlanders, we Inuit Greenlanders cannot sell something that is not ours. We are ready to collaborate for the welfare of the land. Furthermore, while we understand the significance of Hans Egede for our Danish friends, it's not part of our identity. We think that history has already decided we have no right to sell. The statue should go or be exhibited in a museum of colonial encounters.
Great. Great. I really appreciate your attitude. And
It was a very good brainstorming.
okay, of course, yes. Okay, now we will hear the American story. Okay. You can come here and okay, but you have to take the microphone. Okay. So this is the opinion, the perspective of American media covering Greenland.
Greenland's golden future. America, to celebrate its commitment to freedom, is removing the statue of Hans Egede, a symbol of Danish oppression. In President Trump's words, it's very cold here, but it should be getting warmer. Without American security, there can be no lasting peace in Greenland. In recognition of this great occasion, we are thrilled to erect a new statue, a golden statue of President Donald J. Trump, that will open a new era of freedom and financial opportunities. To conclude, the President explained his plan to build a Riviera in Nuuk to invite his golf buddies. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Right. Okay. Well, of course, this was a little bit exaggerated, I have to say. Yeah, I had to say that students were moderate. They were very modest, and they presented a much, how to say, humble article from the American perspective. But nevertheless, I congratulate you. And now we have the last opinion of the government of Denmark, right?
I think, is my voice loud enough?
Yes.
Should I not?
It's
Well-
recorded.
Oh, okay. So this was kind of worded in the words of like the Danish government, so very, diplomatic, very whatever. So the title is Greenland, the representative democracy where Greenlanders decide. The Danish government's perspective on this matter is that the Greenlandic people, apologies, I might get some of this wrong, the handwriting is not mine, have the right to select a government that represents them, which has been the case since 2009. As of the present moment, the Greenlandic people have elected a government that seeks to build closer ties with Denmark, the guarantor of the sovereignty and integrity of Greenland. Given this, and the representative democracy that functions in Greenland, wait, can you read the last bit?
So, given this, and the representative democracy in Greenland, its government has the authority to decide over this matter.
On behalf of the Greenlandic people.
Yeah, behalf of
The Greenlandic.
Greenland. Yeah, well, I have to say this was very diplomatic, okay, and really good. What are my impressions when we did it in the class with students? I told this group here. They just when I gave them this assignment, they said, okay, we will think about Serbian government, and we will replace the Hans Egede statue with the statue of Stefan Nemanja, for example. And we will write like this, but instead of Serbian government, instead of Danish, we will just try to use the Serbian government. And they wrote an excellent article. And I have to say that they were a little bit, how to say, surprised when they started thinking about our national hero, Stefan Nemanja, that somebody could question him. But this is very good. I suppose that you can use this example in your classes, and then you will see, just suggest them that when they write something like this, they just kind of think about, for example, some national hero from Romania and how it looks, how it would look if we replace Hans Egede with some national hero. They were quite surprised, and they started thinking about it, and I think that I suppose that you can see how many competences we have developed here, how many skills they have gained through this exercise, and of course media literacy is something that we all miss, including the us teachers and especially kids. For me, it was a surprise how easy I see that you were struggling a little bit more. It was much easier for them. They were thinking very hard, but of course, and they produced excellent material, really excellent. I read to Marco, and I wanted his opinion, and he said it's really, really interesting.
Sorry, can I add something? Sorry.
Yeah.
Wonderful exercise. But I think exploratory. We can go a little bit further. Starting from this, telling our students, okay, now we're 50 years later. You're a historian, and you use all these documents to create a new document.
Great.
How do you evaluate? What questions do you put so they can go further to explore how historians think? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I wasn't thinking as a historian, you see. This is something that I missed.
Me neither. So
I'm not sure
No,
if
no,
it was,
great.
but it would be interesting to
Yes.
explore it once.
Yeah. So different sources and how we can pick from those.
Then they'll start looking different, and they'll start to consider that sources are not identical, not the same.
Yes.
There is a producer and a receiver for each source. So
Yes. But here we see different perspectives, and Inuit perspective was both very, very valuable. And I think the American exaggerated American is also valuable. But I have to say that in the class we had this objective presentation, which was really, really very good. They struggled a bit. It was a little bit hard for them. But in my opinion, when we do all this, they can really see very, very different. How long? How many hours? It was 1 hour. It was 1 hour. Everything was finished. Just really, for 1 hour, I exercised with the 10th class, 10th graders, and 12th graders. All the same. And really very, very good results.
Did you give them more?
No. I gave it probably even a little bit shorter. Yeah. But that is something that I think that we all can use. Okay, now, okay. Nothing?
I just want to add something because this is transformed example from this toolkit. But toolkit addresses different issues regarding memory culture and different historical approaches to monuments. For instance, this is a great example about this topic. But for instance, it addresses also how values changes over time, how monuments look, for instance, about medieval rulers in Serbian socialist time, how they look now, what messages they send. So I'm just advocating for this toolkit to use, and it can give you different ideas how to apply it in the teaching. So.
Okay. Well, this is it for now. John, we are finished.
Lidija, thank you very much. The first time thank you.
I must continue.
So thank you very much for bringing us to that focus. And just to reiterate what Carol said, one of the things that really illuminates how we're treating the past is thinking how aspects of the present will be treated in the future by future historians. We just start to think of what historians will be writing about our period now in half a century's time or a century's time. And one can start to see some of the extraordinary texts that is going to produce as we move through this astonishingly rapid period of change and trying to orientate ourselves during this extraordinarily rapid era of change. And I want to conclude very briefly with a couple of quotations. And they're both about control. And the first one has already been referred to, and somebody will immediately recognise it, and that is, who controls the present controls the past, who controls the past controls the future. Where's that from? 1984, George Orwell.
No, it was from my presentation.
Yes, you're quite right. It was in Marco's presentation, but that's Orwell. And there's another one, and there are going to be several, but one of you in particular who's immediately going to recognise this quotation. And it goes like this: we don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. Teacher, leave those kids alone.
Also my presentation.
No brick in the wall, indeed. Now, I wanted to highlight the use of the word control there, because understandings of history in instrumentalized politics is all about control. It's about controlling people's views of themselves, controlling views of the other, whoever might be the enemy, distracting people from the material conditions in which they live to give them an object that will stop them thinking about where their legitimate interests lie. Control, absolutely. And the point about the Pink Floyd song is that was getting at, as if you like, an old style of education, which absolutely is about thought control. But what you're all here to do is the exact opposite. It's about encouraging students to develop their own intellectual autonomy, to think about themselves, their communities, and their place in the world that enables them to operate with independent judgment. I think that's one of the most important gifts to a future generation, because it applies to everything they need to negotiate as citizens. And that's why we're here, and that's why we're exploring these topics. So with that memory that it's not about control, it's about liberation, liberating people to think for themselves and to negotiate their own place in the world, that I think is the place where we should conclude today. Except finally, just to thank everybody who's given us the opportunity to be here, our amazing faculty, some of them who are still here and some of them who have had to leave, and of course all to the colleagues at the Ratsu Forum. Nikolai, thank you so much for your hospitality. And wonderful support coming from him, the Anna, the absolute gold. Thank you for all your help, Alex, and everybody else. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, John, for leading us on such an interesting path over the last couple of days. I told you at the beginning that I always love these history events because they are so interesting and open up so many thought processes and ideas. And I think for you teachers, I hope you've enjoyed it all. Thank you so much for being here. You've been very welcome, very well-behaved guests. Thank you very much. And long may that last. And also thanks to our speakers, everybody those who are still here, and for those who are no longer they've gone home already or whatever, and for the team who are at the back, Oana, Lavinia, Alexandra, and I leave you with a Brumbun message. Thank you.